Okay, we will be using the Night Divine stamp set. And I've already pulled out the stamp we will be using for this card. It is the Lord is my shepherd stamp. Put that aside for now. We will be using a piece of copper clay. It's an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper cut in half vertically. So it makes the 4.25 by 11 piece of paper. And when you fold it, it's an 8.5 by 5.5 by 4.25 card base. We have a piece of very vanilla for the inside, 4 by 5.25. We have very vanilla for stamping on and some basic black for die cutting. I have a couple of different pieces of the Designer Series paper that we're going to use on the front of this card to make a scene. There's the night sky 2x4 and the desert sand, which should be about 3.25 by 4. And we will put that on there in a little bit. I'm actually going to go ahead and use some glue. That's right across the top of my desert scene. Trying to figure out which way will be the top, and then we're going to put our stars. Hook them together before I put them on the card. In case they're not exactly the same width, and we trim, but they look pretty good. Well, we are going to need to trim just a smidgen. My paper trimmer up here. Line this up along the edge. And we want the dark blade this time because we want to cut. I'm going to line it up not on the cutting blade, but the little tiny piece just where the center is where it cuts. I'm lining it just along the black edge of the guide. Cut off just a smidge. Okay, did that. Now we go ahead and glue that on our card base. There we have our desert scene. Put that aside while we stamp and die cut. Only stamping we have to do is sentiment. Stamping, the Lord is my shepherd. Right? Put my copper clay. And then I'm going to move it because I need the space to pull over my mini stamp and cut and emboss. I'm going to line up the base plate And the first cutting plate. And then we're going to do the sentiment first. And what we're using to cut our sentiment is a label die from the autumn. Grab my washi tape and trim them. And send it through. And here we have our sentiment. Now remember to remove the washi tape, do it slowly and add an angle. And there is our sentiment. So we will save that. And then we're going to cut out our shepherd and a couple of sheep. Keep our drawing away. Now, the way this nativity die is created, the entire, all of the characters from the nativity story, the Holy Family and the shepherd and the wise man are all part of this one die. We only want the shepherd for today. So I'm just going to lay it so that only the shepherd is on a part of that. I also want a sheep. So I'm going to put my little lamb on there as well. Cover it up with the other cutting plate. Sure that my little shepherd at least is on here and keep running away. I might have to take him down. I think I'm gonna give him a little washi tape. And this of our sheep guy and our little lamb. And then our shepherd. And we'll trim him up here in a minute. I almost pulled the head off my shepherd the other day, so I will try not to decapitate. Right up there. And now we are going to build our scene. There are 5 sheep. Where did they all go? I'll find it later, but I don't need it. That's okay. I'm going to put 3 on the front and 1 on the inside. So the first thing I'm going to do is lay my dies approximately where I think I want them. Here, I'm going to put this into, I think, down at the bottom. So we'll put the sheep right where I have them. Just using liquid glue. I did not put adhesive on the back of this paper before I ran it through the die cutter, mostly because it's not detailed enough that you absolutely need to do that. That sheep close to the ship. And then for the inside of the card, we are actually just going to put a little bush sheep on the inside as well. So we put this down. Glue on my sheep. Gluing him right in there at the bottom of the card. Now, the Lord is my shepherd. We're going to put right there, and we are going to put some copper ribbon behind it. So let me cut a bit of that. And I need my glue dot. I did not get out ahead of time. I will be putting dimensional on the back of my sentiment label, which I also need to cut. I just want to see how much of this ribbon I actually want to use. So I'll just start it about there and loop it. And cut off just a bit of a curl at the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to use some glue dots to get my ribbon down. The ribbon is pretty curly, it wants to curl in on itself. So we're probably going to let it do some of what it naturally does here in a minute, but I have to get some glue dots on it so that it doesn't go completely wild and that we can fasten parts of it down on the card. Okay, so we want it to go like this. We're looping it. Mine's a bit smaller than the bit. Oops. I'll move back the dot to up here. And then, yes, I am going to cut a little more off. And then we're going to put our sentiment label over the top of that. Okay. The board is my pepper. And then you open it up and there's yet another shoot. Hope you enjoyed this, and all month long we will be creating Christmas cards using the Night Divine bundle stamp set and dies. So I will see you back here next Thursday at 2 p.m. Central. Bye.